Hello my gorgeous loves out there and welcome. In today's video, I'm going to finally give you guys a project pan update. I was supposed to do this I think last month because I'm supposed to do it every 3 months. And of course I got delayed, got caught up with other things, so I am filming it now. But before we get into this video, if you're new here, hello, welcome, my name is Bri, and I am just a crazy lover of all things beauty, and I like to post a lot of fun, colorful makeup content. I like to do a lot of indie makeup, so if that is what you're into, then please hit that subscribe button and join this little family. But with that being said, let's get into this video. Alright, welcome loves. I am super chill today. I got very minimal makeup on. I went to brunch, did some shopping, and then I got home and I realized I need to film a project pan update because it's been a while. I was supposed to do this last month, so I am like, you know what? The time is now. I need to sit down and do this. But I am feeling very springy, even though it was a little cold today, which was weird because it's been really warm and now it's like suddenly on the colder side, but that's how the weather is here. And I think in the world, the weather has become very unpredictable. But anyways, so for this project pan, I'm going to show you all of my progress. I'll show you some before photos if it makes sense to do that. And I will also add products in. So if I use something up, I will add something else to replace it. This is a rolling project pan, and I have just been enjoying this whole process. Like, it's helped me get through so much makeup. And I just want to keep doing this because I have a big collection and it's easy to forget to use things. It's easy to just keep buying new things and forgetting about what you already have. So it's been reeling in the makeup purchases for me as well doing this. Anyways, I think we should just dive right in. So I'm going to do it how I always do it based on how I do my makeup steps. So we'll start off with primers, foundation, concealer, and go from there. So the first category, of course, is primers. And I actually got through the face primer that I had added, which was the Urban Decay All Nighter face primer. It's completely done, squeezed it out, ain't got nothing in there. I tried many times. So I finished this, which I'm so happy about. And I also had another primer in my project pan that I totally forgot was part of my project pan, which was the Essence Poreless Partner Primer. So I didn't really use this much at all unless I just randomly used it to do my makeup here and there. But I wasn't concentrating on it because I totally forgot I added this. So because of that, I was like, you know what? I finished this primer. I don't have another primer in my project pan. So I went and I pulled another product. So I started working on the Fenty. This is the True Matte Pro Filter Mattifying Primer because I thought I didn't have another one. I'm such a clown, but I did mark it where it was at originally because, you know, I added this midway and this is where it's at now. So I made a really good dent in this one, but I am gonna, you know, pull this back in and actually concentrate on it and have it be a part of my project pan. But that's what happens when my room gets messy. I start putting things in random places and not keeping them in like specific drawers. Like I have a specific project pan drawer, so somehow I took this out of it and put it with all of my other primers. But that's just what I do. And that's it for primers, which primers I think take a while. So I'm not going to add anything additional for now. If I do add something, of course, in the next update, I'll show you that I added something. So now getting into foundations. I actually got through 2 whole foundations, which I'm really proud of. So I'm going to start with those. So I went through the LYS Triple Fix Serum Foundation. I really like this stuff. I would totally repurchase this, but because I'm working through a lot of foundations, I'm not going to at the moment. But this was an MN5 and it is done. This is where it started when I added it to the project pan. So I went through like half through these 4 months. I killed it. I went in there, I stuck a brush, I dug to the bottom so I could use all of it because I'm a completionist. And then I also had this foundation, which is the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. Also love this. This is an amazing foundation for oily skin on the affordable end. And I was all the way up here and I completely used this up. I can't believe I used pretty much a whole full foundation in 4 months, but I was addicted to this. You guys can see? Yep, you see that? Like I dug my brush in there. I feel like maybe there's a little foundation, like a little bit down at the bottom, but this is in the shade Hazelnut Beige. I would totally also repurchase this because this is my favorite affordable foundation for oily skin. But I'm not gonna do that because like I said, I have a lot of things to work through. Now let's get into the other foundations, which I did put a dent in some of them. So I had added the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Makeup. I added 2 shades. One is in 2N1 and one is in 4N1. So this one is a little too light for me, even when I'm at my palest. And then this one, which was supposed to be like my tan shade, is a little too tan, if that makes any sense. So I was actually kind of ignoring these because then I went and got my perfect in-between shade that's in between these two. And that's going to probably be my go-to, but I was like, I want to use these up because these are my Holy Grail foundations. They're really good, so I need to concentrate on them. So I actually mix these two, or I mix this one with another foundation in my project pan. But I'll show you guys 2N1. So this is where I started. It was almost full. And I got all the way down here to like the halfway point. It's kind of hard for you guys to see where it's sitting at, but I can see, like I put it up to the light, I can see it's like right at this point. So I've been using this one quite a bit as like a mixing with other ones. And then this is the 4N1, which I haven't used as much. So the line is like just a little lower, but you know what? That's still some progress. I'm happy with that. And then the next foundation, which is the one I've been mixing the most with the Estee Lauder 2N1 shade, is the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Foundation. This is in medium 16, so I'll show you guys where it started at. And then this is where it's at now. This one's easier to tell where it's sitting at. I've used a good little chunk of it. You know, I think that's pretty good because I kept neglecting this one in my project pan. So these two mixed together make a really good shade for me right now. This one leans a little warm, so I think this helps offset the warmness and puts it at like the right tone for me. So I'm going to keep working on this one. I'll keep probably concentrating on mixing these two, but I need to work on this one too. But that's where the foundations are at. That's already in my project pan. And then I'm going to add 2 since I finished up 2. So I really want to work on this one. Hopefully it's not expired. But this is the Kimchi Chic, a really good foundation, which I think this is a really nice matte foundation. Great amount of coverage. This is in 114M, which I can kind of see where it's sitting at. Like it's right here. I would say it was kind of laying here, so the stuff's all like on the side, but I'm gonna let it sit. But I think it's like at this point right here. So actually I'm gonna mark it, and someone did give me a great suggestion by using nail polish as a way to mark my products, which has really worked. Yeah, I think I'm here. So I need to finish this up, and I feel like I can get through this. I actually really do like this foundation. And then I wanted to add this one right here, which I think is really nice too. This is the Beauty Blender Bounce Skin Tint. I don't think they have this exact one anymore, do they? I feel like they like release some new foundations or new versions. I might be wrong, or maybe they repackage it, but I really, really like this. It's a nice skin tint, but it lasts pretty well on my skin. It's definitely more of like a natural finish, but I'll show you guys where it's at and then we'll mark it. This one you can also tell where it's sitting, which is helpful. I like when you can see in the bottle because then I can actually see the progress that I'm making. So I'm gonna mark that because I don't want these things to like go to waste because you know, I spent my money and these products are good. Like, I always do declutters throughout the year, which I've already did the declutter for this year for my foundation. So if you want to check that out, I'll link it below, put up in the corner. But I tend to like get rid of things every year that I don't like. So I need to work on the stuff that I kept because I like them. So that's where it's at. I'll show you guys one more time where it's sitting. And I'm just gonna keep chiseling away at these foundations. Now we're getting into concealers, which I have one concealer that I got through, which is right here. The NYX Born to Glow Radiant Concealer. This is really, really nice. I actually really enjoyed using this, but it's finished. And it was pretty full when I started using it. What shade is this? I don't even know what shade this is. Sorry, I can't tell you guys, I don't remember. But I would actually repurchase this. I think this is a really nice, affordable foundation, but I think they actually discontinued this, now that I think of it. I don't think they have this anymore, right? but it was really good. So that is finished. And then the other concealer I was working on was the Pat McGrath concealer. I don't even know what shade it's in. LM13. So this one I haven't made as much progress because I feel like this is a little darker of a concealer for me right now. Once I get like a tan, I think this will work better for me. So I kind of mix it with another concealer. But this is where it started at, and this is where it is now. I mean, it's only a little bit of progress, but it's progress nonetheless. So in the last project pan video I did, I realized I didn't add any other concealers for some reason, but I thought I did, and I thought I added the Dose of Colors one, but I guess this was a late add and I forgot that I did that. But this is the shade Light Medium 11. Light medium? Yeah, number 11. This is the Meet Your Hue concealer from Dose of Colors. I've had this for a while. I think I even got it in a BoxyCharm, and I haven't had BoxyCharm in a while, but I had opened it up when I did like a Shop My Stash video, and I actually really liked it. It is on the lighter end, so I have been mixing it with this one to try to get some use out of this. But I'll show you guys like how it looks. It's kind of hard to see. I think it's here. You know what? I'm just gonna mark it there and call it because I accidentally tilted it over, so now I don't really truly know. But I was like putting the wand in there and kind of scraping down the side to see where it actually touched product, and I think it's at this point. I think it is. If it's not, I will correct it later, but that's where I'm gonna say it's at, like right there. I feel like I am getting through this one. I really do like this concealer. So I'm not gonna add any because concealer takes forever to use because you use such a little amount under your eyes, and I don't like use it all over my face like that. So I'm just gonna keep concentrating on these two, and hopefully I can get one of them done by the next update. And that's it for the foundations, concealers. Now let's get into powders, which I actually got some empties in this category as well. So the loose powder I was using was the Too Faced, I think this is the Ethereal setting powder. I was at like this point, this little line, so I was almost done the last time I showed you guys this, and now it's completely empty. There's nothing in there. I even like took off the plastic top part to really dig in there, so that is gone. But it's so easy for me to go through powder because I constantly powder my face throughout the day. I always powder my makeup when I do it every morning. So powder is always being thrown on my face, basically. So I did go ahead and add the Too Faced Perfect Peach Powder, which this one too is almost done. And it was a brand new powder. Like I had just opened it for the project pan because I had bought a bunch of backups when this went on sale because they were discontinuing this product, and it's one of my favorite setting powders. But here's where it's at. So this is where it started, and it's all the way down here. Isn't that crazy? Let me mark it. I probably should have marked this before I started filming, but we'll just do it together. Okay, let's see where it's sitting. I'll put it right there. So that's where it's at now. Like, that's so much progress right there. This is almost done. This will be done way before I do my next update. I just know I'm gonna get through that. And then the other powder that I got through was the LYS Triple Fix Translucent Setting Powder in Ambition. This one was pretty much almost done the last time I showed it to you guys. So here it is. I literally scraped the edges and like broke it up and smashed the powder in the middle so I could keep using it because I wanted to make sure I used every little bit of powder that was in here, because this is a really nice pressed powder, a great touch-up powder. This is also something I would totally repurchase if I wasn't trying to concentrate on what I already have. I like LYS overall as a brand, and they're definitely more of an affordable brand that's at Sephora. And then for the other powder that I was working on, or powders, actually I have two more powders, I put in the Juvia's Place Powder Foundation. This is in Bogota. This one I use more as like a finishing powder or like a touch-up powder, not really as a foundation, because it leans a little bit on the warm side, so it does add like a little warmth when I like finish off with this. But this is where it's at. I don't remember if I had pan before, but I'll show you the before photo, of course. That's a good amount of pan. I'm actually really proud of that. I'm very, very proud of that. And this is a very soft powder, so it's kind of easy to like go through it because a lot picks up when you dig your brush in there. And then I also had this one from NYX. This is the High Glass Finishing Powder. This one I think they discontinued, but I did buy back up. So I do have another one because I really like this to add like glow to the skin without having to use like dewy products. But I did make a bigger pan in it. You see that? You see that? This is also a very soft powder. So as you dig your brush in there, like a lot picks up, but it's just so pretty. Like if you have an oily skin type and you don't want to use dewy glowy products, but you want to have that glow effect, just get this powder or like a glow kind of powder like this, dab it all over your face, and you can have just such a beautiful glow without adding more oil to the skin. And that was it for the powder. So I was like, you know what, I need to add some powders. So I am going to work on the why did I say NYX? The Nakia Joy Velvet Finishing Powder. This is now my most favorite Holy Grail powder. Love it so much. But I was like, you know what, I'm going to work on it because I do actually have 2 backups of these. I have 2 more, but I want to switch it up. And since I'm already still working on this, I'm going to add this one. So yeah, let's see where it's at. I think it's like at the halfway point, like right there. I don't know. Yeah, right there. I'm going to mark it. It's time to mark it with my handy dandy nail polish. You know what? I think I'm going to mark it on the side for now. And then when I take the sticker off the back, I will run the nail polish through the back. But yeah, so it's pretty much sitting right there. That's pretty good. We're gonna work on that. That will probably be almost gone by the next update. And then I was like, I'm gonna add another pressed powder that I can use for touching up, and it's the Urban Decay All Nighter powder, which I actually take this to work with me a lot. So I'm sure, like by the next update, there will probably be panning in it because there is like a little bit of a dip right in the middle. I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's a dip. There's a dip. Hopefully you can see it. If not, just believe me, okay? So this is where it's gonna be at right now. And then hopefully I will have a big difference the next time I come back and film another one of these. And then let's get into just some cheek products that I added. Or wait, no. Let's get into eye primer actually. So I was just working on one eye primer because eye primer is another thing that takes forever to finish. I the Kaleidos Tone Activator Eye Primer. This is empty and it's covered in cat hair. It's empty. I dug a brush in there too. It accidentally ripped open when I was traveling and spilled a lot of it in my makeup bag. So that's probably why I got through this pretty quick because a lot of it came out in my makeup bag, which was not fun. So that is completely finished, and I was working on the Smashbox 24-hour photo finish primer, which I've used a good amount of because I take this to work with me and I do my makeup at work now because lately I've been getting up at the last minute. So I just like do some makeup real quick at my desk, bring a couple palettes, have like a little makeup bag, and this is the primer I basically dedicate to using every morning. So you can't tell where it's at, but it was pretty full. It was pretty brand new when I started using it. So it's like kind of pushed down here. So I'm gonna keep going at it. I don't know if it'll be done by the next update because like I said, eye primer takes forever to use up because you just use such a little amount on the eyes. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to add another eye primer since I sometimes use a different eye primer, especially like when I'm filming. I'll just pull whatever's in the drawer because this one tends to always be in my makeup bag and my work bag. So I decided to add the Glam Light Icing Eyeshadow Base in Buttercream. I've been using this a lot lately when I do makeup looks on my channel, so I was like, I'm gonna work on it, and I feel like I've had it for a while. This one's one you can't fully tell. Let me see, can I see through the light? No, I can't, but this is the other one, which I highly doubt I'll get through a lot of this either, but I'm gonna keep working on the eye primers because I feel like I have a lot of eye primers for some reason in my collection. Now let's get into like cheek products, bronzers. I had like a highlighter and some blush in here, which I think I'm going to switch up these categories and you'll see in a bit. But I was working on the the Park Ave Princess palette from Tarte. I've been working on this for 2 years now, but I feel like I'm almost to the finish line with this. So I'll show you guys where it's at now, and I'll, of course, a picture of before. I finally hit pan in this one. It took me forever to hit pan, but look at that. And it has a big dip. This one is like, you know, has a bigger pan in it. This is completely empty. This is completely empty. And these two powders have huge pans in it. So I know by the end of this year, this will be completely used up. And I will never buy a big kind of face bronzer palette like this again. Because it's not realistic for me to buy a product like this when it takes over 2 years to use something like this. And I already have a bunch of like single bronzers and contours already in my collection. So I don't need any more palettes like this. I just wanted to challenge myself and see how long it takes to use a face palette up like this. So that is where this one is at. And then I also had this cream bronzer from Fenty, which I thought I was gonna be done with this by now, but the pan is bigger. I think it is, at least. We'll see from the before photos. But this one's a really nice, more cooler, like kind of like a contoury bronzer. It's really nice. So every now and then I'm in the mood for cream products, I will use this one. So I'm gonna keep working on it. And I think maybe by the next update, maybe in 4 months, this will be completely finished. But I'm not gonna add any bronzers because I'm still hacking away at that big palette and I still have this to work with. And then for blushes, which this is where I think I'm gonna switch some things up. So I had the Buxom blush in Toasted Cinnamon, which I also thought I would have had finished by now, but I don't. But the pan is bigger. So I'm still gonna be happy for that. There is still progress on this one, right? There's a huge pan. So I'm getting to the point where I'm gonna start scraping the sides and like smashing the powder in the middle. But I love this. I would totally repurchase this. This is one of my favorite nudie affordable blushes. And I had added the Buxom blush, which I totally forgot I did that. I totally just lost my marbles and forgot I added this because I had to look at my other video and I didn't concentrate on it at all. I used it here and there for different looks, but there's not really any progress. Like, you're not going to see a difference. So because of that, like, I completely forgot about a blush. Still didn't even get through this one. I don't want to add blushes anymore to this project pan, and I think I'm just gonna put this back in my blush drawer, be realistic, because I don't think I'm gonna be able to even get more progress. I have too much blush in my collection, and I tend to switch up my blush quite often, besides this one, which is like a go-to nudie one that I'll use before I go to work. But I'm just gonna stop doing that. Blush is just too hard to get through. And I also had the Fenty Cream blush and Strawberry Drip. I don't think I have any progress on this one too. I use it so sparingly. Like, I'll use it just here and there. So there's no difference. And I just don't want to concentrate on this anymore too, because I'm just realizing blush is not something I'm going to keep putting in project pans. But I did have one kind of like blush highlighter dual, and it's the Melt one, and I have used this quite a bit. So I'm going to keep working on this one, and hopefully I can get pan action pretty soon. But here's where it's at. I'll show you the before. There's a huge dip. Like I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's like a dip right here. It's just hard to tell on camera. I use this side a lot for like highlighter for work. And then I have been digging into this one, using it as a blush topper, sometimes as a standalone blush. So I'm going to still, you know, work and make some progress on this one, because I know for sure I'm going to hit pan at least on the highlighter side. So I'm going to just keep concentrating on these two. And once I use them up, I'm not going to add any more blushes or highlighters to my project pan. So that was everything for this project pan. And I feel like maybe I didn't have as much results as I did the last update that I did, but I still have progress. I'm still getting through things, and I am very happy for that. So I'm going to keep working away and keep getting products used up and getting my money's worth out of the things I've purchased. But now I would love to hear from all of y'all what you think of my results. Are you doing a project pan? Like, what are you up to? I would love to hear from all of y'all. And if you're new here and you enjoyed this video, you like a lot of fun, colorful makeup content, you like a lot of indie makeup and all that good stuff, then please hit that subscribe button and join this little family. Also, don't forget to check out the description below. I will link the makeup that I have on, even though it's very minimalistic, in case you're curious. I will link the last project pan update I did, my playlist, and other videos of mine find that you might be interested in watching. I will also have my contact and my social media platforms. I'm also on Instagram as Breezy Lifestyle and Breezy_beauty. So if you want to join my Instagram fam, I would really, really love that. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, for being here on my project pan journey, or if this is your first video of mine, thank you for stopping by and watching. I really, really appreciate you guys all so much. And I just hope all of you are doing well wherever you are in the world, and just sending you guys so much light and love. But until next time, bye guys.